Hey everyone, welcome back to Techdriven. Today we're outside and it's finally spring and it's the beginning of May, which, yes, I love this. It's the middle of, it's like 13, 14 degrees Celsius. It is beautiful outside. And last time we were outside on the channel, we were setting up Reolink's Floodlight Wi-Fi camera. So let's quickly take a look at that. So the last time we were outside, this is what we installed. The Reolink Floodlight Wi-Fi camera. It features dual 4K lenses with super wide angle, local storage, and all of their cameras feature a lot of the same features, which is kind of great. It's consistency across the brand. It all uses the same app and everything integrates together very well. So this 4K camera with its awesome super bright 3000 lumen floodlights has been fantastic. It's held up to all the weather. It's held up to the snow, the rain, ice, like anything the Canadian winter threw at it. Took it like a champ and didn't skip a beat. So now let's look at the ones I installed out front, which is a massive upgrade because it takes the static camera and now we're adding pan, tilt, and zoom. So here's the main camera we're going to be talking about today, the Reolink TrackerFlex floodlight camera. So this has got the dual, as you can see, PTZ head that now is following me as I'm moving around. We have the dual floodlights, the triple PIR sensors, plus also it's got the speaker for the alarm that can be 110 decibels, which is pretty insane. It also has a micro SD card that mounts into the bottom of it, and you can adjust pretty much anything on it. The brightness of these floodlights, the temperature that they are at. Also, you can adjust the home position of this camera, so wherever it kind of sits and then returns back to home after there has been an event or an activity or some kind of motion detection. It is 100% hardwired. Now, when hardwiring it, it's fairly simple. The mount itself, it mounts up just like any other light or sconce. So if you've done basic electrical, it's fairly easy, but also their instructions that they include, super simple. My dad and I got this mounted up pretty quickly. Originally, we were playing around with a few other ideas of where to put it, but we decided to go with here because it was the simplest, and it replaced a basic motion floodlight that I had. Now, having this with the telephoto lens, if someone does walk onto my driveway or even across the street, this camera picks them up and zooms right in on their face, which is awesome. So I did some cool testing, walking in and out of the driveway, across the street, and this thing works absolutely phenomenal. Now, one of the key things is you need to make sure you have a really solid Wi-Fi connection because this thing is always recording in dual 4K, so both of these lenses are always recording, and I've configured my camera to always continuously record, as yes, you can set it up to only record before the event, so it'll record like 30 seconds or a minute before and a minute after. But because I leave it on continuous recording, it is a resource hog. It's going to use a lot more space, and I only get about 24 hours of continuous footage, and even then, I actually have it set up on a schedule. So basically, from 10 p.m. at night till about 6 a.m., or about 7 a.m. when I'm fully awake and moving around the house, it is on continuous recording all night. That way then, if there's anyone walking by, lifting door handles, trying to get into our cars, this thing's got it, and we can report it to the police. But I have one more camera to show you that we added to the front of the house. So we not only have this is the front of the house with the driveway shot. So now we can see both the cars, who's coming to both doors. Not only we have a side entrance here, the garage entrance, and the main door for the garage, as well as the front door is pretty much directly behind the camera. And this is just out on the driveway, and you can barely see the camera, which is absolutely awesome. So when someone does walk on the driveway at night, they won't know that there's a camera there. And as the leaves come in on my tree, you might not know that there's a Wi-Fi solar-powered camera in my tree. And my Wi-Fi solar-powered camera is just fine. Solar-powered Wi-Fi camera. So this one's pretty cool. It runs 100% on solar power. Charged it up initially, and I haven't touched it since. I put a 32 gig SD card in it. It's got a PIR sensor on the bottom. It's got a 2K camera. It's got built-in microphones. This one is absolutely awesome. And the mount on it is really basic. As you can see, it's just 2 screws that hold it into the tree on a ball mount. And you can position it pretty much any way you want. So as I back up here, now this is the only thing we haven't tested because the tree had no leaves. How will it be when the tree is fully bloomed? So I'm curious to see how its performance and how well it'll stay charged when the tree is fully grown in. But so far it's been fantastic. And it's so small, and once the tree's grown in, you won't even see it. and it faces the front of the house. So the view of that is actually the whole front of the house, the whole driveway, and it gives us an amazing angle. So let's quickly talk about why I bought the Reolink Solar Floodlight camera. Now, I wanted another angle of the house, and unfortunately, just the way our yard is set up, and without doing like some actual work and running conduit for power and drilling into the house to get a better angle with the TrackerFlex, I decided to leave for now the TrackerFlex where it is, outside of the garage. It's a great angle because when someone walks on the driveway, it lights up the whole driveway. But we don't get, even with the 6x zoom, there is ways people could kind of hide. So what I wanted to do was add a camera in the tree in our front yard, and this is where the solar floodlight camera comes into play. I positioned it so you get the whole front of the house, not only the big front bay window and the front door, as well as the whole driveway. So if anyone walks onto the driveway, and they're going to get captured on one of these two Reolink cameras, which is absolutely awesome, and both of them will light up their floodlights. Now, the solar camera features a 150-degree PIR sensor, a 2K camera. It also features dual floodlights, not as bright as the Flex or the Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi camera, but they're bright enough that when you come in at night, it's really nice because it lights up the whole driveway and you're not in the dark. So I do really, really like that. I put a 32 gig SD card in it to store any local footage. It captures days and days of footage because I don't have continuous recording on, because that will probably kill the battery really fast. And it just doesn't need to have continuous recording when I have the TrackerFlex set up as continuous recording. So the solar camera is more so as a backup and an extra, and also it's a great spot check to just click in on the camera and see what's happening at the front of the house when you're away from the house. Let's quickly talk about the software on these cameras, because that's how you control it, and that's your interaction with it every time you are interacting with these cameras. The hardware itself is impressive. The packaging, everything they come with, the setup, super easy to use. Downloading the Reolink app on your Android phone or your iOS, or even for the desktop, is really easy to set up and get going. I have a Pixel 9 Pro XL. My girlfriend has an iPhone. Then on my own desktop, and I was running it actually on my Windows Server 2025 VM, the Reolink desktop client, and just having it up on a screen in my office, which was pretty cool. So I just used like a Windows Server 2025 as like an NVR server, just running their desktop client. So the software itself is awesome. Scrubbing through their footage and looking at the detections is super easy, as the footage itself, it earmarks if it's just generic footage, if it's a person, if it's a car, or it's an animal. And you can adjust the sensitivity in the app. And then as well as you can download the full footage, or you can tailor, you just want that little clip. As well as their AI search function, which, there's mixed I guess, feelings around AI, but I would say this is a good use of AI, because you can say, hey, look for the delivery van, and boom, it's going to come up with every video with a delivery van. And that was actually a really useful function, because we had a package dropped off at the front door and we're like, when did that get dropped off? So then I started using the AI search function between the two front cameras and found the video, which was awesome. So the solar camera and the TrackerFlex and the Elite Floodlight camera all feature the same awesome AI search functions. And even just their generic, just looking through the previous videos that have been recorded is super easy. Now, with the TrackerFlex, like I said, it's got dual 4K cameras, so you are bringing up the footage of both those cameras at the same time. So it's going to be a little bit slower versus the other cameras, but it's worth it, because when you download that footage, you're getting both videos. Now, with the TrackerFlex camera being kind of our main focus and the solar camera being a little bit of the secondary, but there was a really cool camera that I decided to purchase because I really wanted that angle out the driveway with the PTZ camera, and then the angle at the house with the solar camera, really giving us that full view of anything happening on the front of the house, as well as it was a good way to see if a delivery driver dropped the package at the front door, I can see it now with the solar camera, where with the PTZ camera, where it's positioned, I can only see them go up to the front door and then place something and then walk away. But that's just down to the location, and I think eventually I'll move the PTZ camera to a different spot, but I do like where I have it right now, because from the street, it kind of blends into the building and you don't see it. And the same thing with the solar camera, it's going to blend into the tree, and I hope the tree leaves don't block too much light that causes me to have to move that camera, but we'll see soon enough. But overall, the solar camera, I've never had to take it down from the tree since I set it up. It's worked solid. The PTZ camera has been awesome. We put the latest firmware update on it, and it made that camera work so much better. And then on top of that, upgrading the Wi-Fi and giving it true, really good connection really made a difference. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next tech-driven video. Again, all these products were provided, except for the solar light floodlight camera, by Reolink. The solar floodlight I did buy with my own money, and Reolink does have affiliate link descriptions below that they were provided by them for you guys if you want to check out any of their products. If you decide to purchase anything, I will get a small kickback. And as well for you guys, I have a discount code available in the description below. So go check out Reolink's website, learn more about the TrackerFlex or the Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi camera, or even the Solar Floodlight Wi-Fi camera, as they're all amazing products, and I use them here every day at the house. We'll see you again next time on TechDriven.